So today we are going to be doing the carburetor on a 2004 Harley Sportster 1200 Custom. So to take these two bolts off, you're going to need a T30 star head. And this is the outside, so you're going to want to be real freaking easy like. Make sure you're going the right way. And the cover for this just pops right on out. And the nice thing is, you can set all your bolts and everything right in there. So here, you got your air filter. It's a T25 star head. Take it right off. Just loosen them up one at a time, just like a tire on your car. When you pull the air filter off, you want to be real gentle like, because it's delicate. So, and boom, now you have the carburetor open. All we need to do is take off this with these two bolts. Those are going to be deep heads. So you're going to want to take these two bolts off right here. They're 14 millimeter. You're going to want to use a deep socket for them. And don't be afraid when that happens. You're going to want these on nice and tight like. So two things you're going to want to know about these bolts. They are going to have oil on the threads, and it's because they're going right into the engine block cylinders. So don't worry about it. Just give them a good old clean real quick. For this part now, we're actually starting to get into the carburetor in of itself. So this is the part where you're going to have to be really gentle not to get anything out in there. So as soon as you take those two bolts off, this plastic piece just comes right off. And here you have the carburetor. So you can see where everything is. Not sure if you can see where everything in there is moving. Let's see here. You got two bolts right here that will come out, and this will actually take apart your tank, and that's where most of everything is going to be in. So to actually pop the carburetor out, it's actually attached to an intake in between the two solenoids. Just want to grab it, pull it, give it a little pressure, manhandle it a little bit. Don't tip the bike over on you. Don't want that to happen. So then, but as soon as it's loose and free, you can take all the bolts off, and then it'll expose the pool right here where you can get to the actual carburetor in there and clean everything out. Since this is where the pool of oil is, as soon as you take that last bolt out from the back, that's what I prefer in the back. I'm gonna hold it nice and tight up in there to get everything out of your way. Then just gently pull it down. So I actually have the pool of oil out. Easier storage for winter, so nothing gets gunked up in it. Normally it'll be, the fuel level will be about right here normally when you have everything on and it'll run. I don't know the technical name of this piece right here, but to take it out, it's going to be a 5/16, and this is copper, so you're going to want to be real easy about it. As soon as you take this piece out, look through it. This piece has a nice hole, so it won't be too hard to look through, but just make sure nothing's gunked up. If it is gunked up, you can go to your average everyday hardware store, True Value, Big R, Home Depot, and get this kit right here. This is actually a torch cleaning kit, but it'll do the same purpose. It's just a rounded file. With these two guys, you're just gonna pull them out nice and gently like, and just look through the holes. Now these holes, this one right here, you're probably not gonna see a lot of light because it'll actually come up through here and then spray out here. So you're probably not gonna see anything out of this one. You're probably gonna see more out of this one. I just totally forgot about this. You got a little piece right in here that goes in this hole right here. So when you're putting the pool back in, you're gonna want to get everything lined up. You want to get this lined up before you get your other holes lined up. And then it just pops right on in. Same thing with every other screw. Hand tighten it before you take your screwdriver to it, so that way you don't cross thread anything. You're going to want to align your carburetor up with your intake in here. You're going to want to you're going to manhandle this, so don't be afraid to push on it. Have someone hopefully standing on the other side, or take your seat off and just put your hand on the frame and hold it while you're pushing. I think that did it. When you put these two bolts back in, oil is going to come out, so just make sure it is free of oil, debris, and everything. And since these bolts are going in there, these bolts most likely are going to be married. So either separate them from the beginning, or just before you put that plastic piece on. When you're putting the air filter back on, don't touch this because you will actually ruin the paper. These two nipples right here will go onto these two rivet nipple things. So, and it just pops right on. Nothing special about it. Unless you are actually doing something wrong, which no, I'm not. Just being testy with me. There we go. Look at that. Now these bolts right here are not going to be married, so it doesn't matter what order you will put these bolts back into. So when you're putting the cover back on, it goes inside the plastic holder behind there. So it just pops right on in. Put the emblem on. Put in these two bolts and you are done. It takes about 5-10 minutes to take apart the carburetor and about another 5-10 minutes to clean it. And there you go. You're ready to ride.